Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Crockett Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. My man Donovan Siddiqui out the building today. But I got Queen Demetri K, and I am the fire, the star, the general Crockett Show. Hey, scared money don't make money. And if you're scared with your money, don't plan on making none. But tonight, the money man is in the building. So we're going to talk about how to increase your wealth. You figure deal me? Let's get to it. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for tuning in. You know, without you guys, we wouldn't have a show. So we definitely appreciate you taking time out to come and hang out with us because it's that important, man. And we're going to give you the game. We're going to tell you everything you need to know so that you can be ahead of the game. I'm going to start it off. I can't find the story. I ran across it. But there's a town in Georgia. It was some pre-K babies sitting at a table eating lunch. And all the white kids had food. But all the black kids didn't have nothing. Let me repeat that for y'all. Some pre-K babies sitting at the lunch tables, at their little tables in their classroom. All the white kids had food for lunch. And the black kids had nothing. The company that has the contract with the school decided they would cancel the contract because this is not how you treat children. But I'm telling y'all need to be careful where you send your kids. You need to do some research on these schools, everything, because they treating these kids so bad in these schools. Now, I want to give you an update. Straight from Austin, Texas. Voting, accountability, election fraud, voter suppression, whatever you want to call it. The bill is on the way to the floor. Y'all, they voted along party lines. All the Democrats opposed it. All the Republicans went with it. They outnumbered. It's going to the floor. It's a bill that I support because of the voter fraud that I've uncovered in Harris County, and they don't have the muscle to stop it. And I think me and you were talking about this earlier, that we focus so much on trying to mess over these races and put people in certain spots. Their focus is never on getting the majority in the houses. You know, they did it at the national level. You know, they even the playing field. But at the state levels, that's not their focus. And now you're getting your ass whooped on the state level, and you're getting whooped rightfully because of things that you've done in your past at the local and state level. So if y'all think that bill ain't gonna pass, sit back. Now they got to put it on the calendar, and that means it goes to the floor for a vote, which I think they will end up passing it and, instituting these new voter fraud laws to stop these people from cheating in these elections. Demetri, what's going on with you?
Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to the Thursday night edition of the War Zone. If it's Thursday, and if you see Walter here, we must gonna be talking about some money, how to make it, how to keep it, and everything else in between. And so if you can do us a favor and share this live so that everybody else can get this much needed information and join in on the conversation, we would greatly appreciate it. So really quick, I want to give you an update on the Derek Chauvin murder trial. As you guys know, Derek Chauvin is on trial for murdering George Floyd in May 25th of 2020, where he took his knee to George's neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. Today was day 9 of witness testimony, and they had a whole host of medical professionals come forward and give their testimonies. But one of the most, I guess you could say, jaw-dropping testimonies came from that of Dr. Martin Tobin. He's a pulmonologist. I think that's how you say it. Basically, he's a lung doctor. And he testified that fentanyl or meth or any of that had nothing to do with George's death. he did not die from a heart attack or, any of that kind of stuff. And a lot of other medical experts came forward and said the same thing. Now, the defense, of course, is trying to make it seem like George died due to a drug overdose or a heart attack. But one of the doctors said, well, he didn't have a heart attack. In order for you to have a heart attack, all of your arteries that gets to your heart have to be clogged. That wasn't the case for George Floyd. It was like one artery, but they also said that he had heart disease to some degree. And they all said that had nothing to do with it. Now, Dr. Tobin put up a whole bunch of graphs and things like that. And he showed one graph that was pretty telling, where it was a picture of George's hands handcuffed behind his back. And he says, if you notice, I think it was his left hand. Well, actually, it would have been his right. I think the hand closest to the tire. He said you could see his hand reaching for the tire and just like reaching for the side of the pavement. And he says that was him struggling to try to get air to his lungs by reaching, through his hands. It was like a last ditch effort. He also said the pavement on his, him lying on the pavement and the handcuffs digging in his back, in addition to the officers with their knees on his back and George Floyd's knees to his neck, made it to where, because I guess the impact was mostly on his left lung. He said it was the equivalent of his left lung being removed, all that he was going through. And he said that you can see, and he showed the graph in the video, where George took his last breath. In fact, he was counting toward the end his breaths and saying how he was in distress due to what was going on with him. But again, the defense kept on trying to drill him and saying, well, isn't it true that, fentanyl and meth and this, that, and the other? And all the experts said that George did not have enough of meth or fentanyl in his system to have rendered him a heart attack. And so it was a very good day for the prosecution. But yeah, that was very telling. I mean, most people who saw it was like, well, what else do we need to hear? But of course, the defense does have to put on their case as soon as the prosecution is over with presenting all of their witnesses. So, Gary.
Say, man, scared money don't make money. That's how I feel about it. If you're going to try to make money using your money, you can't be afraid. Investing to me is sort of like tricking. It's like tricking. You can't play with money that you can't afford to lose. So your disposable income level, how much money you got per month that you just messing off on fast food and all this other stuff. That's money that you could be investing. But I'm not the expert. We brought the expert into the building. So I'm going to turn it over to Walter. But Walter, scared money don't make money.
That's the end of the show. Play the music. What's funny is that's actually what I was going to talk about tonight. Fear money. I got a few things to talk about. I'm going to talk about my personal experiences this week. I've been reminded how fragile we are as a people and how important money is. So I'm going to go over a few things tonight. I do want to talk about, I like how you transition about scared money doesn't make money. I was talking to someone right before I came on, and we were going over all the things that are hurting Black people. And I said, you know what? Most Black people are doing right now, watching the trial. I said, let's assume he gets convicted. He gets the gas chamber. We get to hang this dude. We get to give him the justice he deserves. And we should. And I'll be at the hanging, first class, front row seat with a cigar and cognac in hand. Trust and believe that I will be there. Matter of fact, I'll kick the chair because he should hang for this, period. So with that moving forward, what can we do after that? Because right now, every person I talk to of color is wrapped up into this trial. And so what I'm saying to myself is I check out the trial and I shut it off. And let you guys report on it so it's different. You need to know what's going on. I don't need to know everything. I just know that the dude got choked out on national television, and we need a trial because they have so much money and power that they can really try and convince the public that it was justified. I promise you, if that would have been the other way around, it would be different. And it comes down to The same old thing I always talk about is money and power. We have to stop the swing low shit about cash. Do you understand what I'm saying? Where it's like, oh, the Lord, and we need to protest. No, we need to stack our cash. Because here's what we could have did. We have our money. Chauvin kills this dude on TV, and they walk into the cell to look for Derek Chauvin, and his ass is missing, never to be seen again. I got 5 acres in Joshua Tree. We could bury his ass, still never find him. Trust me. So I'm speaking from a different point tonight, because I'm like, we cannot keep with the protests and stuff, right? We need to get our stuff together, and we need to go after these people like they come after us aggressively, and we have to come at them with the money. We stack our money, and we work on our self-esteem, and then they think twice about coming after us the way that they do. And let me say another thing too, and I want to swing on the other side of the fence. We need to challenge our people, especially our Black men, to be more responsible, get our shit together. My father is a Muslim. I'm talking about like Farrakhan Muslim. I have, my oldest son is named after Khalid Muhammad, his one of his Farrakhan sergeants. I've worked on Farrakhan's 325 in LA. I get it. He told me, and he said to me, make sure you put yourself in a position of safety. Don't be out there with the knuckleheads. Don't put yourself in a position where you're going to be in danger. You know what I'm saying? I know if I walk my ass to a Klan rally, there's a good chance I'm going to get hung. So we need to be better at taking responsibility. What happened to George Floyd was effed up. Done. Moving forward, what can we do? Because it's not going to stop. Right now, brothers getting shot, right? And get it, I get it, all colors. The police, they kill everybody. It ain't just us. It's just we see more of it with the media, right? Because it's just one more reminder that Black people, you ain't shit. White is right. It's a white lie. It's blackmail, all the stuff, right, that Muhammad Ali talked about. So we need to control the money and the narrative. Like, I see more people doing social media on Black power and like what Black people have done for the world. That is good. But right now, most of those guys are on hold because they're talking about this trial all the time. And so I think we need to get from this trial like he should hang, and we should take care of ourselves. Does that make sense? That's number one. So I'm gonna stop right there and let you guys go.
Yeah, I mean, most definitely. First and foremost, we do hope that there is justice in the Derek Chauvin murder trial. But I always tell people, some people get mad because I report about it every day on the African Diaspora News Channel, and some people don't like when I say we should, keep our expectations low in regards to, justice being served, because we know history tells us that police officers are rarely found guilty for killing Black people, even if it's as plain as day, right? And so, to your point, we should be working on other things. I read a story today in New York. There's a Black lady, I can't remember, Sharon somebody. Doesn't matter. Well, she got arrested because she said something disparaging to an Asian. And do you know who the Asian was? It was an undercover police officer, the Asian task force. They got these task force now, throughout major cities and stuff to try to catch people who are participating in Asian hate, right? Now, this Stop Asian Hate thing is relatively new, right? Within the last couple of months or so. I'm talking about new in comparison to Black people and the horrors that we've experienced over the last 400 years or so, right? So what does that tell you? That tells you that Asians have power. What kind of power do they have? They have money. And money, get some feedback. Was that you?
Yeah, it's off.
Okay. So Asians have power. And the power is the money. And so they're getting all of this legislation. They got all these task force. The lady didn't put her hands on anybody. She said something like, you guys are, it's your fault over the China flu or something, that she shouldn't have said. But she said it nevertheless, and she gets arrested. And so they got all these people out there, police agents or whatever, officers to protect Asian people. Well, And on the other side of that, we know that police officers, not all of them, okay, I want to say that, but a lot of them do the opposite to Black people. They brutalize Black people and murder Black people wholesale. And that's because, as Walter said, we lack the power, aka the money. Now, I should also say that we do see about $1.3 trillion into our community every year. The unfortunate part is we give 97% of that away to everyone else, including the Asian community via hair and restaurants and a whole host of things. And so it's not like we don't have the money. We just misappropriate the money because we have enough money, they say, to make up the 11th wealthiest country in the world, Black people in America. But we are consumers and not producers. And so to his point, just to reiterate it before I get to you, Gary, where there is money, there is power, and people listen to you.
I resent the fact that you would arrest somebody for saying something, because it should be a whole bunch of motherfuckers arrested for how many people have been called niggas in the last week. How many times have you shown up at the scene, Mr. Officer, and arrested a Black person because they beat the hell out of somebody for calling them a nigga? See,
yeah,
for real. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah,
here's my thing. Here's my thing once again on a different issue. I'm not feeling the pain of the Asian community because I've never seen it. I've never observed it. I lived in a community that has a high Asian presence. I've not seen it. Therefore, until society looks at and deals with the issue of Black America, I don't want to hear about the plight of the Asian American community. I don't want to hear about it. So hopefully somebody puts a GoFundMe together for that lady and they can get her out of jail, because this is still the United States of America. And you get to say what you want. There is no law that she broke. But for every Asian that has a problem with somebody saying something about the Kung flu or whatever they say to you, then why don't you have them arrested? The people that said it, have them arrested, but arrest everybody who's called an African American a nigger or some disparaging remarks. Then hopefully these lawmakers can get together and put together the same type of executive orders and legislation for the African American community that they're putting together for the Asian community.
So this is the same old song. Last night I watched the Earth, Wind, and Fire and Isley Brother versus, right? And I was just skimming through the channel, and I was like, I am not going to give up 3 hours and 14 minutes of my time. Let me tell you, I watched that shit and rewound it back and watched it again. I spent 6 hours watching that. And I was thinking, these brothers were so, I mean, like, I didn't realize that Ron Isley had that many songs. I didn't realize they did Shout, Twist, and Shout. And I was just thinking to myself, you mean the white population, when you hear Twist and Shout, you don't think about a Black dude and another brother with a banging guitar. And so that's why I think they wrote that song in 1962. Why don't we know that Ron Isley wrote Twist and Shout? Like, I was mad as a motherfucker last night, and I was just watching the video. So I watched the whole thing, and one thing that I noticed, besides Earth, Wind, and Fire, they are untouchable, is I heard Ron Isley say, and his brother, I think it was Aaron, oh, he wrote that. Oh, he wrote that. Ron Isley was like, oh, yeah, we own the masters of that. Oh, we own that. When we wrote that song, Steve Harvey was on the boat. Remember you saying that I was on the Super Bowl on your boat, and we heard Twist and Shout, and the Isley brother calls the media and is like, yo, we need the money. That's our song, and you're not paying us. Nor do you have permission to play that during the Super Bowl. That is power. See, that's what you do. That's what the Asians and the Jews and everyone have that Black people don't. Because Black people, and I spoke to a young lady, nice lady, and I told her I was going to talk about it. I hope she's watching, and her husband. Black people are still in the slave mentality.
Well, I saw your window really quick. Your window.
Oh, shit. I All of a sudden, I got all these fine ass neighbors. I'm just playing. It is what it is. But no, the point I'm making is we have power and money, but we won't use it. One, Black people, we have so much money. We have so much. And you know who's got the money? The Black women. They got the money. Because most of my clients of African-American descent, 99% of them are women. And they got the money. But you know what's happening with our women is, and like I had this conversation with a lady, I said, you have to be nice to your man. He may not be perfect, but like we need to create some sort of unity. You have the power, and now the Black women have the money. Do you know what I'm saying? I said, so you two need to figure it out, because what's happening is you guys have the money, you're afraid to move, and we're tearing each other apart. We have the money and power to make moves, period. Stop being scared. We are no longer slaves. You don't need the white man or permission to spend your money. You don't have to take your Black ass to a bank and stand in line and fill out no paperwork. You can make moves on your own. There's one thing I like is when I deal with people and they start getting financially stronger, is they start to think better. Now what we need to do is get them to move and make those moves, right? I have several of my clients that are doing well and have more money. Now my thing is to get them to move. I'm gonna tell you guys something right here. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you a financial move of how you can make money next month and fire your boss. You ready? Me and my son, Pinky in the Brain. I don't know if he's Pinky or if I'm the brain. Maybe Titus is Pinky. Shit, I don't know. But, you know, I've said, we're talking about buying real estate, and we're buying real estate, and we're doing things. I said, you know what would make more sense is if we just went out to Joshua Tree and we rented 3 houses, gave them $1,500 a month, put it on Airbnb, and we make $6,000 a month. We don't got to buy shit. We got enough money and credit to sign a lease. Go out there and get 3 homes. We'll give you $1,500. We'll rent it out for $6,000. We keep the 45. That's 12, 13, 14 grand a month. And my boss can kiss my Black ass. Period. It's that simple. That's what I was doing all day today. Talking to real estate agents. We need 3 properties by May 1st. It's 2 weeks from now. We need 3 properties. May 15th, we will have them cleaned up, rented out, jacuzzi, sauna in each one, jacuzzi tub, you name it. It's going to be on and cracking with purple lights. And May 16th, they'll be on Airbnb. And that's the end of it. You know where I got that from? Is I was watching the trial this morning, and I accidentally hit my button, and it went to YouTube. And I saw this dude, Rob Bilt, was talking about renting out the house and then putting it on Airbnb. And I was like, oh, shit. I want to call on my Black people and tell them to do this. Because they're all wrapped up in this goddamn trial, and the dude's probably going to get off. And we know he is, or there's a good chance that he is, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't be watching this shit. There's a good chance that he is going to get off. Because $1 million would get your ass out of jail. What are Black people going to do? Tear up their own shit, and then we're going to spend another year hearing about how shitty we are because we tear up our own shit, and we're going to lose 2 years when these Asians, and I'm just saying these Asians because this is the topic, are out buying moves, making moves. We have a house that's paid off free and clear, and we can't even make a move because we got to get the white man's permission, or we got to wait for the Lord, Jesus, Allah, Muhammad to get together in a group chat and give us permission to make this motherfucking move. And it's idiotic. It is insane. I told one of my boys today, dude, if you ever call me with this shit again, I want to hear about the money. Give me the baby. I don't care about the contractions or the afterbirth or how cute the fat ass the nurses is. Give me the baby. Period. Black people, we are getting murdered financially, and we are done. We are getting killed. This trial has got us all watching it, and nobody's making moves with the money. Nobody's engaged. We're not talking about stock options anymore. We're talking about this fucking trial. The dude killed this dude in cold blood and broad daylight on camera. He's a piece of shit. What the fuck are we still talking about? Do we need to really spend 3 months watching the trial when we know he did it? All we care about is this: is he gonna be found guilty, and are we gonna tear shit up? That's really what this trial is about, right? And you're talking about the dude that called the Asian the Kung flu. You know, it is an Asian disease, and most of the diseases that come over are from Asia. It just is what it is. They have a different way of life. They eat shit we don't eat. Period. They'll catch a shark, cut the fins off, and throw his ass back in the water. That's their lifestyle. So you're going to get diseases and you're going to do things that are damaging. It's just the way it is. And I'm surrounded by, I had a lot of Asian friends. Trust me, I ate some shit that shouldn't be ate. That's why you don't drink too much. I'm like, what is it? This is fish nuts. I didn't even know fish had nuts. But here's the thing. I hear Asians calling each other niggas. I have an Asian dude that cuts my hair. He's got mad skills. And I went to him because my brother was never there. Yo, man, meet me at 2. It's 2:50. He ain't even showed up. My Asian homie, he's there every goddamn time. I walk into the shop. He said, what's up, my nigga? I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, dude, I will fuck you up. Oh, he's all, man. I said, no, dude, don't do that to me. That's not appropriate. He's like, well, y'all call yourself niggas. We just trying to be down. We need to deal with that one day. Because we do that to ourselves, right? I don't hear white people walk around say, what's up, the honky? Or Asians talking about ching chong, ching-a-ling. We the only people that call ourselves disparaging words and get pissed when other people do it. I was at the airport. I told you about the dude. And I walked through the TSA pre-check for $89 in 5 years. You can skip all the middle class and walk your ass to the front of the line. I haven't missed a flight since. A dude was like, you cut me off. I said, no, I got pre-check. You in the wrong line. I said, you in the middle class line, homeboy. I'm in the upper class line. For $89, you can get where I'm at. Because I was about to punch him in the face. And the dude called me a nigger in the TSA line. Now, so here's what most people do. Most people would have fucked him up. And I was 2 inches away from fucking him up. And then I said to myself, I'm a black man. I'm young. I'm attractive. I got $4,000 in my pocket. I'm going to hang out with my millionaire buddy. And his wife is fine as hell. And she got a badass sister. I'm just joking, but these are some of the things that are going through my head. And so I'm like, I could fuck him up and get detained, or I could keep moving. So I said to him, I'm going to Phoenix, Arizona. And if you meant anything you just said, get on the flight with me. Meet me in Phoenix. I will fuck you up. And the TSA brother grabbed me and said, dude, it ain't worth it. I said, no, I got some cool shit I'm getting ready to do. He's probably going to swing a hammer somewhere. I was pissed. I didn't call him a wetback. I didn't call him out of character. But I walked away. I said, you know what? I was born in this country. And that's out of my character because I don't normally get involved with the racial shit. I got a lot of Mexican friends, but I was mad I was on one. I would have broke this dude's neck if I was in my normal state of mind. So they feel like it's cool to call us a nigga in the TSA line. What kind of shit is that? I'm surrounded by all these police, and they are police. Have a bomb and see what happened to you. And he felt like it was cool to call me a nigger. It took everything inside of me not to punch this dude in the face. So they feel comfortable doing it because we don't have economic power. The dude in the TSA, most of them are black dudes. And you sitting in a line and somebody called a brother who's obviously got his shit together, a nigger, and because of your job, you got to take it. Let that happen at Cornucopia. Somebody walk in my house and call one of my clients a nigga. We fucking him up, me, Miles, and Titus. You know what I'm saying? It's a wrap. But why do the people feel it's comfortable to call us a nigga? Because we do it to ourselves and we haven't proven to them that we can support ourselves. Until we get to that point, we'll be shit.
But we niggas economically.
Spiritually, economically, physically, black people, we are in the worst shape physically and we can fix it. Financially, we're in the worst shape. Spiritually, if I have one more person of color tell me I got to talk to Jesus first, I'm going to slap the shit out of him. One, Jesus is not handing out Grammys for WAP. He's not handing out Oscars for Mississippi Burning. I promise you. Thank God for making WAP the top of the charts. No, that's not Jesus. One, and God didn't put a white dude in a black neighborhood and try and hide him. You guys do your research. Like, serious. I'm not saying Christianity is not true, but just so you know, the Egyptians had 12 disciples, 3 kings, the East. You realize on December 25th, the sun on the 4th, it drops, and on the 25th, it starts to rise, just for some science. If people say, oh, the Democrats believe the science, well, some of y'all need to believe the science too. Ain't nothing wrong with being religious. Don't let it control your life. Because Christians, black Christians, are some of the poorest people in the world. I'll take it one step further. Last week you heard me say I'm doing my African research. I'm more identifying with being a Nigerian. Go on Google and look at China and Africa right now. You know what's in the news? African president told China, kiss my ass. We're not paying that rate. Who do you think we are? We are not, we want the money, but not that bad. That's economic power, because you know what happens when you're fucked up, you take the deal. Like Thailand took the deal from China because they're broke. The African was like, nope, yeah, we have enough money to wait on the better deal. That's where power is. You see what I'm saying? You don't go to a strong African nation and commit a crime. You just disappear, right? Let that cop do that in Nigeria and see what happens to him. He's missing. And he should be missing. Like everybody knows, I have a lot of cop friends, but I'm not down with the program.
And take it a step further. Because I think about this every day because, I cover the trial. I have to cover the trial, right? I think about this every day and I'm like, what's going to happen if he gets off? Like they have spent $1 million. They've been a police union, $1 million to get him off. Is Derek Chauvin going to be or feel free enough to walk the neighborhood without security? Is he going to be free enough to, I don't know if he has kids, but take his kids to Disneyland or Magic Mountain or go to the grocery store? Is he going to feel so free to be able to do that if he's set free after lynching a man in the middle of the street? Because you guys always hear, why is George Zimmerman still walking around? Out of all the people in our community that are struck, and I'm not advocating anything, but that are struck by stray bullets and a whole host of other things, you got this dude, George Zimmerman, still walking around, getting froggy and all kind of stuff everywhere he goes. So is Derek Chauvin going to feel that free to do what he wants if he is found not guilty?
Hell yes, he is. And like Gary said, what's going to happen? Not a goddamn thing. It ain't going to happen.
We don't kill people of different races. We kill black people when they step on your Jordans.
Yeah,
we kill each other when they put that wood to your gal.
Yeah, don't step on my Satan shoes.
Yeah, we ain't gonna do nothing to nobody else, and it's been a proven fact. Is what it is. The man get off, he gonna live a normal life,
right?
And that's all it boils down to.
You know what the crazy part is? Where did they get the $1 million to defend this dude? What is the money? Cops don't produce. Police officers do not produce a product. They don't create wealth.
Tax money.
It's tax money.
And have you ever gotten that call from the police union? We're doing our drive for the police union and we're raising money. I've always said hell no, but somebody is saying yes to the tune of them being able to, here's $1 million for his defense, and they only got one lawyer. One lawyer is doing all the heavy lifting against the state's, 3 or 4 lawyers? He's doing all the work for $1 million.
Yeah. So
but maybe they know something we don't know.
No, they got something we refuse to use, and that's the money. Listen to what I just said. Earlier, I told you, everybody listening to this podcast, how to quit your job right now. Literally. I heard Grant Cardone on with Earn Your Leisure, the two brothers in Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone is the white dude. They got the white dude, Grant Cardone. He goes, I grew up with black people. He's sitting there with these two brothers. He's one of us. He's like, you know what I love about Grant Cardone? He got swag. And he's like, you dumb motherfuckers. You own it. You bought your first real estate investment. You bought a house. What the hell is wrong with you? Like, why would you take and put 15 to 20% down on a house and then go through all that crap, property taxes, for all that stuff, something that's not making you money, when you can take that same 20%, buy an investment property, and have that income pay for your mortgage? Like, he goes, who does that? And he's going off, and everybody was silent. He was just beating them up. And so I clicked off, and then I watched the other dude. And I said, you know what? I just had 2 dudes tell me to rent some shit and rent it out. Right? Because I was thinking, because I rent this house. The house I'm in right now, I'm paying rent. because I can leave at any moment, and it don't cost me nothing. My guests, they pay for it. I live here for free, and I got the biggest room. So I understand enough about real estate to do that. But what we need to do is take it a step further, and all you guys can do this, right? Here's what you do. Find, and don't go to Shady Shores because that's my hood, right? Dallas, Texas, that's mine. Y'all stay your black asses in Houston or Frisco or Moshava or wherever you're out there in Louisiana, but don't go to Shady Shores, right? Especially on Laura Street. That's my house. This guy for $150, they ain't paid the property tax. They want $150 for this house that sits on the lake in Corinth near Shady Shores. I'm like, damn, I could buy that house or rent it for, or pay his mortgage for him or whatever. Say, just give me the house. You get out. I'll rent it out for $8,000 a month and I'll give you $2,000 or $1,000 or whatever you want. That's making moves. Black people, come on now. Like I see her on her Judy. She's one of my clients. Like she's on her shit, right? She said, I can feel her energy. When I talk to her, it's different. Erica, I have a lot of people on here. Their energy is different. When you have money in the bank and your bills disappear, oh, it's a different feeling. Have you ever wanted something so bad, but then you got to the point where you could really afford it and you don't want it? That is economic power. See, what the Asians do is they move 20 into a house. I know because my neighbor, I have Mexicans right there. I'm friends with all of them and my Chinese neighbors. And they got 400 people. It looked like an MC Hammer concert. All the band members living over there. And they got 18 businesses. I can't even keep track. My Chinese neighbors be 3 a.m. Hey, pick it up. And I'm like, what? One day I went out there and was like, listen, can I invest in this shit at least? Because money never sleeps. And I ain't sleeping with all the yakking y'all doing. So can I get down? But the point I'm making is they'll do it. And then they just own the block. You can't get 2 black people in the same house. Oh, I can't live with her. Well, fuck it then. Like, do you really think that I want 2 people in my house? I don't. But I live for free. And if I really want to, I could shut them off and have the house to myself. But isn't having economic freedom, isn't that better? You don't have to be like, I hate this shit that we see black people, we feel like we got to have the new Mercedes or the new Lexus. You guys, Mercedes-Benz, Daimler Chrysler, if they saw a black dude bleeding in the street, the president of Mercedes would keep on driving. They want nothing to do with you. I've seen the owner, the CEO of Rolls-Royce. He's got his shit together. But I promise you, if he saw a brother with his finger up, like my Rolls-Royce broke down, he would keep on driving.
Tell them about Ken Chenault and the Black Card and American Express, how they feel about, rappers and different people like that having a card.
So first of all, here's the sad part. So when I worked at American Express, Ken Chenault, the chairman and CEO, and I think he's retired now. He's on to bigger stuff. But he would come down, and we would just be like, oh, we have a brother who's running the company. And American Express has the Black Card, which is where I got a lot of my introductions to celebrities. So the Black Card division was in Phoenix, secretive. They don't advertise. So when I would call them to get a Black Card for Kanye, Dougie Fresh, whatever it is, whoever the celebrity was, they would always just say, Walter, we're not doing tip drill with this credit card, are we? We're not sliding it down the crack of an ass, are you? See, because what happens is Puffy used this Black Card and went to a club, was balling out with the Black Card. And the rep told me at American Express, that's not our image. That's not what we want. This is a Black Card for people of stature we don't want people waving it, buying bottles and swiping it down a girl's crack. We don't want that. So, but we are blowing up the Black Card.
Well, what would make them think about tip drill?
Oh my God. And I had this conversation with Nelly. Me and him talked about this for an hour. We did when he did Get Your Eagle On. Matter of fact, if you watch his video, Get Your Eagle On, you pause, that credit card is my credit card. If you freeze frame it, my name, everything, that is my Black Card in Nelly's video. He didn't even have a Black Card. Not that he couldn't have got it, but at the time they were pissed at him. And I had a rep tell me Nelly is not getting a gold card. Or I think he had a platinum card, but they were like, he ain't going no further than that. They were pissed at him over tip drill, right? So all this stuff, like if I call somebody and say, hey, I got a black card, they would pick up my call and they would whatever. That's how I got to Kanye. I keep it real. Kanye was my client because I got him a black card. He was talking about the African American Express card and he didn't have it. And so he was blowing me up and we would go back and forth. And then I flew my black ass to New York against my company's wishes and instructions. And I handed him a black card on stage. And my boy Dave Mays and Benzino that owned Source Magazine were standing right there. And Dave Mays goes, damn, dude, that's a good look. And so I walked on stage. Kanye was mid-sentence. It was Kanye and John Legend because John Legend was Kanye's piano planner. It was me, Kanye, John Legend, and Consequence, Kanye's up-and-coming rapper on Good Music. And so Kanye's mid-sentence in a rap, and I'm walking on stage, and I'm got this black card in my hand, and he stops mid-sentence in his rhyme, and I hand him this black card in front of the whole crowd. You know what he said? Damn, now everybody knows I was fronting. I said, no, nigga, everybody knows you got a black card. And so we had some fun that night. Did American Express call me and chewed my ass out because it was in the newspapers. So we idolize stuff like that. But what if we idolized buying real estate and flipping it? What if we did that? Like, do you realize right now, if you have $10,000 in the bank, that you can go put a deposit on a house, rent it out next to a lake or casino somewhere hot, and put it on Airbnb, paint it, clean it up, and put a sauna and jacuzzi out there for less than $4,000, which you could finance with your good credit. And you can start getting $100 a night, $200 a night. You guys, it is so simple. Today, I get a lot of ideas, but today was real clear. I told my son, we can shut down Cornucopia right now and go out and rent a bunch of houses and put them on Airbnb and keep the spread with no money out of pocket. Like, seriously. I was like, dude, we can shut our company down right now and we can just do this house hack and we'll just travel to all of our rentals and pick up the cash. Done. We can all do that. But you know what people say? When I told 2 or 3 people, but I said, everything after the but is an excuse. Black people, shut the hell up with this stuff. Take but out of your vocabulary. Oh, I need to pray on it. No, you don't. That is an excuse. And you don't need to talk to your man. Your man's not interested. He's not. And you know why he's not interested? Because we didn't rip the black man apart. Black women have the power, and our man ain't shit. And I told a lady today, she's a cool lady too. I need to send her my link. I said, are you leaving this dude? I ain't gonna say her name because I don't want to put her out there, but she's a good chick and she's gonna be rich. I said, are you leaving him? No, I'm not leaving him. I said, you got all, he's been bad, he's cheated, he's done shit to you. I said, let me tell you something. If you leave him, is the next man going to cheat on you? A high possibility. If he's got swag, he's good looking, he's got his shit together, he's going to cheat on you. It's just what we do. I wish it was different. Now, it ain't all of us, but I'm just saying. I said, so why are you holding this baggage on this dude? I said, you live with the dude. Can you live without him financially? No. Can you? She goes, well, I pay half. I said, half is cool, but can you live without him? He's paid the bills. He supported you. He's slow to move. He's slow as molasses with 2 elephants pushing him backwards. But because of him, you're in a position where you can support yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can have that car payment that is equal to your income because he's there for you. He may not be the greatest man, or he may have issues. I get it. We all have that. I've been in relationships and I know it makes you want to strangle a chicken. It's rough. But you know what helps in relationships? Is cash. Hey, baby, you know what? I know you're feeling bad. You mad at me. I got the bills paid. We got money in the bank. You don't have to work ever again. And I had your car washed, it's spotless, and it's got a full tank, and there's breakfast on the table. And I got the baby oil when you get back upstairs. I'm just saying, like, that is magic to a woman's ears. So men, that's your role. Women, ease up. Give a brother a chance. Because Kanye said it best. You get his shit together and leave your ass for a white girl. And I know because I did it. I did it. It's true. I ain't gonna lie. My grandson Titus, he's not clear for no reason, right? So, and I love all my family, and I'm glad I did it. But that happens a lot because we don't feel like we are worthy. Number one, right? And we need to get to the core. We need, how you raise your self-esteem? Cash. When you have money in your pocket, how do you feel?
Better.
Yeah. On payday, self-esteem is at its highest. It is. You get paid, tax season rolls around, Black people feel good enough to buy a car, spend their stimulus. Do you realize that?
Al says on payday, the women come to the job and they nice to their man and bring them lunch.
Yeah. It's crazy. Do you realize, you guys, I couldn't make this up, Howard's Furniture has a commercial. They're calling it a stimulus check sale. Use your stimulus to put a down payment on an appliance. Are you fucking kidding me? I was losing. I felt like calling Howard and saying, come on, man, that's directed toward Black people. But somebody want to buy a new refrigerator or a new washer and dryer, it's a done deal. But if I try and get somebody to invest in their future, I got to have 20 conversations with them. Black people, we are being murdered in the street, on TV. We are being murdered financially. We are being murdered financially. And yeah, hey, Janelle, what's up? I love that picture. My sister got a picture like that. So I have a side business. I love it. And I hear this whole thing about people saying, I hear the commercial saying, should I lease my car for my business? Here's what's going on. A lot of people say if you rent a car that's 6,000 pounds, a Mercedes, a Tesla, you can deduct it off of your business taxes. Here's what I would say to that. If you can buy a Mercedes G-Wagon and spend $1,500 a month and write it off, why don't you buy something else, pay your government, and keep the spread? Do you see what I'm saying? Think about this. Mercedes-Benz, Chevy, the owner of the SUVs, Ford, what do they need to happen? They need people to keep buying SUVs, don't they? Matter of fact, Ford is not even making cars. I think they make the Mustang. I think that's it, and the EVs. Do you realize that the car companies are in bed with the IRS? Hey, government, we need oil to stay in flow, and we need people buying our SUVs. So what do? Give them a tax deduction to buy an SUV. You're still paying $1,500 a month. I would not buy a car, finance or lease. I wouldn't do it unless it's affordable. Here's what you do. Grab all the cash you can, go pay cash, and go to your credit union and have them give you a loan against it. You can skip the tax and license, the dealership fees, all that crap. I'll say this to people all day. Half of them do it. Half of them show up at a dealership. Only thing you're missing is pin the tail on the donkey. Because the minute you leave the car dealership, they are high-fiving and champagne. Pin the nigga. How does the song go? Like, you catch a nigga, let him go, pin it, whatever. That's what they do. Stop being that nigga that they pin the tail on when you walk out the dealership. I want a car payment. I do. I want a Range Rover white on white John B style. But I would rather have the money instead. You guys, with the money you put down on a car, because you can't lease a car without a down payment. So, right, you lease a car and you give them $4,000. You pay on the car for 3 years, and then they say, do you want to buy it again? Jimmy Crack Corn? Like, seriously. And so that's a good question. Should you buy or lease? I would buy, but I would, one, buy something affordable, or two, take the money from your 401k, borrow the money from your cousin, sell the junky car you got, and whatever you got to do, buy that car and then go to your credit union and take a loan against it if you must have that car. Do that. Or do what I call pre-owned elegance. Right now, what time is it? Well, it don't matter because y'all like to get sleepy. But I have a guy coming in an hour. I have an Audi S5. I was telling my son, I think I was telling Judy here, I was doing 140 miles an hour on Saturday, right? And I'm not in it now, so I can't get a ticket. I'm doing 141 miles an hour in my car, and I'm thinking, damn, I need to slow down. And I was thinking, damn, it feels good to go this fast because everybody's flying past me. And then I thought, I should sell this car, right? Because it's too fast. But I love it. It's black on black. It's an AX5 V8. Do you know I paid $10,000 for this car that will do 150 miles an hour? It's black. I pulled up to a gas station and I had a girl say, damn, you selling me the dream. I was like, damn, this booty is mine, but I'm in a relationship. I can't do it. But if I was a player like that, but the point I'm making is you could buy that car for $200 a month and do 140 and pull up and get booty. That's the point I'm making for 200. So y'all spending $800 on the car payment. What is wrong with you? My car payment, let's say I paid on the Audi. I paid $200 a month and I use the other $600 for my retirement or my long-term care, which is something I want to talk about. So that's how we need to think about it, right? And somebody's saying, just waiting for the answer. I don't put the question back up again because I don't know what.
That was it. That was her question. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So sorry, I get long-winded. I get really passionate about money because when we leave here, most people will go back to the shitty financial life that they had. Period. You ain't shit without money. Period. Get you a big ass mirror and say, I ain't shit without money. Because you ain't. We will strangle you in the streets. You can't walk up to an Asian and say Kung Flu, which I think is pretty fucked up, regardless if it's true or not. Right?
Well, what's worse, Kung Flu or nigga?
Niggas worse. Because Kung Flu, it was fucked up when Donald Trump said it. Even I was like, whoa, that's funny, but that's aggressive. Right?
But they ain't taking black folk, they ain't taking folk to jail for calling us that.
Right. And it is the Asian flu, just like SARS was. And when Ebola was here, they called it the African flu. Right? And chances are Ebola probably started somewhere else and ended up in Africa. Right? Period. So, because people that healthy don't tend to get those kind of diseases. But next story. Right? So, it's just a way of saying, like, I've heard more stuff about Asian hate crimes. I'm like, I'm surrounded by Asians. I ain't never heard none of them talk about no fucking hate crime. I've never had any of my Asian buddies say, oh man, I can't go outside. They walk into the Mercedes. Or they talking about their mom that left them a house. One of my Asian buddies, her father left her a $2 million house. That's the shit they talking about. They got a couple Asians on TV saying, oh, we're afraid. Asian people are not afraid of, they're not afraid of black people. They're not. Because if they were, they wouldn't be up in in the worst neighborhood, in the shoot 'em up, bang, bang, I wish a nigga would neighborhood. There's an Asian liquor store, in an Indian food place, in a Vietnamese nail salon. I walk in, my friends, she's like, hey, what color you want? And I'm like, girl, I don't want no color. But where is the black nail salon lady? I want to go to you. Where are you? Do you know what I'm saying? So until we fix that, and until we stop hemming and hawing with the cash, you guys, if you have $1,000 in your pocket, you can go fix your credit. You can go rent a house and put it on Airbnb. I'm giving you guys, I'm telling you what I'm doing. Period. Tomorrow we go look at a property. I'm going to try and rent this crib, get it under my control, and I'm going to put it on Airbnb. Everybody on this podcast can do that. Oh, my credit is bad. Well, fix it, fool. Fix your credit and get somebody with better credit. Or walk up to them and say, hey, what if I give you 3 months in advance? Yeah, my credit's messed up, but I'll give you 3 months. And here's what I'm doing. And by the way, I have a financial planner or coach or whatever that's helping me. Rent the place out. You guys have Conroe in Houston. There's a lake there. I know because Erica told me about it. So why don't you go to Lake Conroe, get a piece of land, we pitch in and own it, put something on it, or say, hey, can I rent out your land? I'm going to put something on it and we can split the money. Right? You guys could do that in Houston. You can do that in Dallas. You can do that in Frisco. You can do that in Louisiana. Don't tell me that you live next to a casino and you don't have 6 RVs renting it out to the people. Like, there's money. My people are killed for the lack of knowledge. In addition to the lack of making a move based on that knowledge. Period. I never again want to hear about black people's struggles. I told my father this, which is the other topic I want to talk about. My father is a Muslim, and he's watching the Derek Chauvin trial. I said, Pops, we got to turn this shit off. Oh, but the white man. I said, Pops, what can we do about, I sound like Farrakhan, what can we do about the white man's past travesties against it? There's nothing we can do. It's over. Slavery is in the past. There are black people that have become multimillionaires even after slavery. What is the difference between Jay-Z or the lady that invented the hot comb or Garrett Morgan, whatever any of these people? What's the difference between Oprah and us? Oprah pulled the trigger. She went to the move. She took the ridicule. She kept on trying, and boom, she lives in Santa Barbara with an avocado tree. That's it. The difference is we need to shut the fuck up and start making the move. The white man has nothing to do with black people's struggle anymore. Black people's struggle is self-induced. They got it, but here's what I'm saying. If black people from this moment on saved 20% of their income and stacked it, and then we went out and just did we went out and got Airbnbs or bought cars and flipped them, right? You can make the car payment like a punk bitch, or the car can make the payment, period. That's me unfiltered, right? I'm on a podcast, so maybe I should tone it down. But if I'm on the phone with my boys, I'm like, dude, I don't make a car payment. My car make the payment. I buy this Audi, the booty getter, for 10 grand. I got a dude come in here in an hour to pay me 15 grand for this fucking car. Like 50% on my money, and I've driven it for a month. Like you can make a car payment, or your car can make the payment. You can make a house payment, or your house can make the payment. Stop. Oh, I got to own a house. It's the American dream. No, it's not. It's the bank's sucker plan. You big dummy. You buy a house, you put 20% down, and you do a 15-year mortgage, and the bank is saying, thanks for our money. Think about this for 1 second. I have this ashtray, right? And I say, I'm going to sell it to you. Give me 20% down and pay it off in 15 years. And every time you make a payment, I'm going to loan it to your broke people at 20%, even though I'm only paying, you're only paying me 3%. Does that make sense? Wouldn't it make sense to rent this ashtray? Oh, I'm going to smoke a cigar. I'm only smoking 1, but you're smoking 4. I'm going to smoke and then let you smoke, but you pay me to smoke out of my ashtray. Right? You see what I'm saying? And I rented this ashtray from Leroy, and I'm giving it to Juan Lee to bar and smoke, and I'm keeping the money in the middle. You could do that with everything. Until black people get that way, we're going to be stuck. And here's something else I want to end with. If you don't have long-term care, damn it, go get it. Like, you know how we break black poverty? Is stop making your kids wipe your ass. Period. Do not make your kids wipe your black ass. That's a damn shame. I was with my father this week, man. I was so pissed. I've never been so mad. Everyone's like, you got to go see Pop. So I went to see my father. I took the whole day off. The whole day. I left my house at 6 a.m. I get to his house at 8. He lives 2 hours away. I'm like, Pops, you got to move. Like, what the fuck are you doing out here? I love it out here. So, okay, cool. He falls asleep, and I clean his house. 8 hours, I'm mopping. I sent my sister pictures. Sweeping, mopping. I did 15 loads of laundry, threw shit away. I folded all of his clothes, cleaned his whole house, scrubbing the walls, baseboards, everything, beating the crackhead neighbors away. It's insane. And so I cleaned his house. I was so mentally drained. I was angry because I was like, my father's a brilliant man. He taught me to save money, start my own business, can my shit, can my food, keep water. Like, what the fuck am I doing here? And I know my father didn't have the information that we have, because if he did, he would do things differently. But my father, I'm fighting with this dude who is 80 years old, and he's there, but you know how people, when they get old, they're not there, but they're there. They think they're there. It's like, you ever had a dream where you sleep and you're awake, but you can't speak? He's in that state. And so I'm like, damn. And so I clean this, and he calls me at 5 a.m. You threw my shit away. I can't believe it. And my father talks with a slur, but he was clear as hell this day. He cussed me out up and down. I said, Pops, I never heard you speak so clear. He was angry. And I said, Pops, I spent all day cleaning your house. He goes, you threw away my suits. I said, Daddy, that suit was an 8X. You are a black man, 5'8", you weigh 112, and you're wearing an 8X suits. I say, when you leave this house, you represent our family. You don't get to dress like that. You don't get to have dirt on your shoes. You don't get to wear those shoes. And just, I don't care what people think. You don't care what they think. You represent our family. You are the leader of this family until you pass away. You don't get to drive that raggedy ass, big ass truck that you shouldn't have on the road anyways, because if you hit somebody, you're going to kill everybody in the car. And I know you ain't got enough insurance. Don't drive. Do not ever touch that truck again. He was pissed at me. And so I said, before he hung up on me, you represent this family, and I refuse to have my father live like that. You don't have to like it, but it's the way it is. And when you have somebody come in and help you with your life, you lose power you lose control. Now, so that reminded me I needed to increase my long-term care. Right now, I only have $2 million worth of insurance, long-term care. Somebody would brush my teeth and change my diaper and she would be sexy, period. Yeah, I said it is me too, but that's what I want. I want $4 million. Because I don't want to run the risk of my kids having to, like, you know what would have been cool is if my father had enough income coming through the door where I could just take care of him and quit my job or quit my business or take a week off and say, you know what, I'm with my father this week and I'm just going to spend time with him and work on him. But most of us don't put our kids in that position because we're too busy chasing what the white man did to us. I tell my father, turn this shit off. This trial has nothing to do with you. You have 1,400 Muhammad Speaks newspaper piled up, which I almost threw away, but I didn't want the full wrath of Walter Sr. So I left the Muhammad Speaks alone. But damn, when I pick up the Muhammad Speaks, there's so much good information, but we are not doing it. We're not doing it. And so we keep bitching about the white man. He stepped on this dude's neck for 8 minutes and 49 seconds, and we ain't gonna do shit about it. When we get the money, we will do something about it. So all this to say is this, right? And yeah, you should take care of your parents. I get it. And Janelle, put your second question up again, right? Because she says,
the value is almost doubled in a house. Do I use the equity to renovate or buy investment property?
Take every dime out of that house you can, DM me, suck that money out, get a 3% interest rate until the cows come home for 100 years, and you take all that cash and you go buy 2 more pieces of property and you let them pay your new mortgage. That's how you do it. I tell people, the banks want you to pay down your house so they can reloan it. Don't do that. Like, pay off your house if it makes you comfortable and you just need that. I get it. Having your house paid off must feel good. You know what feels better? Is living in your house, having all this cash, having somebody else pay your mortgage while you reinvest it and buy something else and have them pay your mortgage too. That's what you do, right? So if you have a house that you paid $89,000 for and you have 33 left to pay off, what's the house worth? Put it on the screen, because that's what I need to see. Because if you're in Houston and you got a roof and some windows, it's probably worth at least 100, right? I mean, a house in 2000, what was that? 2003 for 89? Oh, we need to talk, baby. Shit. It's probably worth 200 grand. 200 grand at 80% out gives you $160,000 at today's interest rates. Your house payment is $550. And you take that 160, you know what I'm saying? And now you have $160,000 in your hand that's only costing you $500-$600, and now you make moves. Maybe you move out of your house and let somebody else rent it for $1,200-$1,300. Your mortgage on the house is only $600. Let somebody move in and pay $1,200, and you take their $600 that's left over after you pay your mortgage, plus your, Lord, do you hear me? Your 160 minus the 30, your 130 plus the 600 a month, and you go buy 2 or 3 more properties, and you do all that, and you tell your boss, kiss my ass, I'm out. That's what I would do tomorrow, period. I hope I wasn't too 157. Send me the address, DM it, don't put it up here, right? And we'll do a market comparison. I'll tell you exactly what it's worth, that we should be painted, push it up, put a jacuzzi and a sauna in it, and add $15,000 to the value because people like to get wet and sweat, right? And then from there, Janelle, our issue is how many houses can we buy with $130,600 a month and extra cash flow, right? Don't go down the shady shores unless we do it together. That's all I'm saying, right? Because for a $160,000 house, 600 would pay the mortgage plus property tax and insurance. So Black people, we have power. If you own a house on here and you have cash and equity, suck that shit out, use it to buy another piece of property. Like Kara Swartz said, we did it once, we did it twice, now the steak with the beans and rice. And that's what he meant, right? So do that. You guys, I know it's car season and Black people all over the world, I feel like Soul Train singers are buying cars. Don't do that. A car, when you make a car payment, it ruins you. Like, even if it's only $400 a month, with $400 a month, that's a house payment on a $100,000 mortgage. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. You have a sexy car that you're paying $800 for, or you have a $200,000 house that you are renting out on Airbnb and making $4,000. You guys, the math is here. Like, I don't got my hands stretched out like the Messiah. I feel like Jesus sometimes. Like, I'm just sitting here bleeding and ain't nobody doing shit about it. Like, I've given you the word. Maybe I should back up. I don't want to get hate mail. But
right, I was about to say, or a light vote on your ass.
That's the point I'm making. We have it. We have to let go. Like, Black people, I saw this picture of my father, of his family in the 60s, suited up, hair greased and parted. It was my grandmother, Katie, and all of her brothers and sisters. Suited up, powerful Black picture. And I said to my father, Black people were better in the 60s than they are right now. You know what my father said? Those damn civil rights, they gave welfare to the people, and now they won't do shit. They don't want to work. The government's taking care of them. This is from my 80-year-old father, saying that the civil rights movements destroyed Black wealth, period. Now, we needed our civil rights, but like, you know how you get richer is if you walk outside and you swinging. Fear sharpens listening, right? We think, oh, the white man is our friend now. He's going to let us eat in the same old place. So we put our weapon, we put our guard down, and we get murdered. I don't care what you think about Trump or the Republicans, whoever it is. The one thing I liked about having a conservative in office is we knew how he felt about us. We know what their agenda was. We know that Donald Trump, if he had his way, Black people would be dead. I don't care what he says. It would be Mar-a-Lago and pretty white, blue-eyed people or orange hair, right? That's the way it would be. I know that. But while he's doing that, he put all these policies in people to help his people, which also, by the way, help Black people. I don't care what you say about immigration. When you stop illegals from coming over, that helps Black jobs, period. And the last thing I want to say, I don't know what's going on with Georgia. I hear they don't want people to feed people and give them water. That's total bullshit. That's insane. The fact that somebody would even propose that just shows you how bold they think they are. The whole thing about, oh, Black people, we need to have, like, why do we need ID? You guys, you know what would be better? Just get ID. If you get your Black ass pulled over, what is the first thing the officer asks you for? Do you have ID? Can you tell him I don't have it? Oh, I ain't gonna tell you who I am. He gonna take your ass to jail. You gonna have a problem. So why don't we just get ID? And then the rest of the voting, the other stuff on the ballot, which is total trash about feeding people in line, that's just leave people alone, right? We should be able to give people food and water while they're standing in line for 8 hours. That's just idiotic. But the part we can handle, like everybody getting ID, just get ID. One of my white friends said this. We call him Steady B. He goes, Walter, you guys, they moved the All-Star game, right? Or whatever it is, from Georgia to Colorado. The baseball game from Georgia to Colorado. He goes, Georgia is 50%, 51% Black. Colorado is 7% Black. He goes, do you know what Major League All-Star game, how many hundreds of millions it brings to the community? He goes, so what your people did, and the people did is they took the All-Star game and they took it from where it could help Black people and businesses, and they took it somewhere where it could help the whites. This is my white friend. And he goes, you know what? It's still, they ain't going to change the law. It's still going to be on the books. This is my white friend telling me this. He goes, Walter, you guys fucked yourself. Like, who? He goes, get the money. You always say that, Walter, get the money, then get the power. You guys are trying to get the power without the money. And I'm like, damn, this is coming from a white dude who watches the war zone, by the way.
Because we like symbolism. We like symbolism. That's why I said to black people, a vote is nothing more than a wish. You're better off clicking your heels together 3 times and hoping and wishing for something. But anyway, I see that Gary is a little bit on the sleepy side. Tired.
Yeah, you wake your ass up. I mean, like, money doesn't sleep. You guys, seriously, let's get this money. Like, praise the head of lettuce or ask God for forgiveness or permission for the 20th time to make a move financially. Do that in your next life. Right now, let's get the money. Let's collect the money. Let's get together. Let's get together and kill Barney. Seriously, like, you guys, don't let us from California come into Texas and buy your shit up. Like, how dare you let somebody come in your hood and buy the property next to you? I've been to Dallas, Texas more times than I've been to San Francisco or Los Angeles in the last 3 months. Do not let us come up in there and do that. And you guys own the land. Your mama house is paid off and you won't talk to her because you're scared. But you got to talk to the Lord first. That is madness. Don't let us come buy all your stuff. Otherwise, you're going to be paying rent from us.
Word. And on the closing, Janelle says, Walter, your advice is gold and appreciated. Absolutely. So
send me a check. See that link? That's how I feel appreciation.
So, Gary, what say you getting out of here?
I mean, just got to start making better decisions across the board. It's not like they don't have the information. You know, that's why I say scared money don't make money. And some of these people, they have a fantasy. They just love being poor. And that's what it is. I mean, how the hell you say, I ain't finna depend on no man, but yet you depend on the government? I don't understand it. So, I mean, that's what it is to me. I just know that when it's all said and done, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. You either want it or you don't. And some days people don't want it.
And you're supposed to depend on a man. Black women, it's okay to depend on a man. That's the way it's supposed to be. During the 60s and the 50s, we depended on our black men to go out and make that money. Brother, it is your job to take care of this family. Period. Don't say, I told the lady, don't tell me you don't need a man. I said you want a man, or you want to want, not want to need. But you need this black man. And when we rip the black man from the black woman, it's death to Smoochie. It's over. I don't ever want to hear you say, as a black woman, I don't need a man, that, or whatever you're attracted to. That is baloney. You do need a man, and men need you, because if you got a sister, and I know this from experience, and I always say my next woman will be a sister. I've learned so much. Like, you know what I missed about and I learned about this whole thing is, if you can have a sister on your side, but that is educated financially and is on your side, you are unstoppable. Look at Barack Obama. I promise you, take Michelle out the picture, he is not president. I promise you.
And he said that. He says, without Michelle, you know, and because he had an interview on Oprah, he says, you know, she asked him about, you know, what he's able to do, you know, because of his wife and all of that. And he says, well, look who I'm sitting next to, a sister.
Oh, she is. I'll tell you, Barack get to slipping. I'm gonna be flying around wherever his house is. Like, I like Michelle Obama for all kind of reasons, but so many black women, we have that. I have a white friend. I'm gonna leave him nameless. He was like, man, I don't know why you don't want those sisters. I want them. He go, they got curves, swag. They keep your ass in line and they get the money. I'm like, damn, I need to rethink this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, there's nothing better than a black woman that got her shit together. I told my sister girl, I said, you know what we should do with you? put a black dress on you, put some red bottoms, let your hair down, and we walk into the room and get this money. Like, people cannot resist the power of a sister girl. And when black women, you get to that point where you know your shit is the power, and you ain't got to get in there and like be forceful. Just be yourself. It's over. And you get brothers and sisters, even if we don't date, let's say we're not together, we can work together. There's no stopping us. You see a black man and here's an exercise, and I'll let you go. Look for a black woman and a black man get out the car who appear to be organized and on the same page. Or do an exercise. Brothers, get your sister, get your brother, get suited up and pull up to a hotel or something and step out the car and watch how people stare at you. It's black power, like Public Enemy or Ron Isley. I didn't realize he wrote Fight the Power, and that's a sin on my part. I've heard the song, but I was like, damn, Ron Isley really wrote Fight the Power. God damn, I'm gonna watch this shit again. It's gonna be 3 more hours tonight, right? But like, you guys, black power is untouchable. Right now, we are fighting each other. In the Black Lives Matter movement, cut the shit out. You know, you need to take your ass to Chicago where we're shooting each other, right? We need to go to the hood. I don't want to hear the Black Lives Matter. I don't want to see one more fucking sign until you take your black ass to Chicago and get up in them streets, or to the Third Ward, or to San Bernardino, California, where black people are killing each other. That's what I want to see, a Black Lives Matter sign, not in Chimichanga, Minnesota. They don't care about you. Go where you can make moves. And Black Lives Matter, start a bank. That's power. Not waving some sign. That's whatever. All lives matter, and they do. But you know how Black Lives Matter? By getting the money, because we keep telling people Black lives don't matter because we don't care enough to save or protect or make moves. And we kill each other. I'm more worried about being killed from one of my own kind than I am having somebody walk up next to me from another race. I don't want to worry about that, and neither should you.
Period. All right.
I'm gonna mute my shit because I know I keep saying I'm an in. I sound like a black preacher.
But all right, okay. We're getting out of here, y'all. Then you go into another 30-minute sermon. But anyway, no, absolutely. Absolutely, you guys. It has been a pleasure, as always. Walter, every Thursday is here dropping financial knowledge, life experiences, and everything in between. So thank you so much, Walter, for being here. So Gary, take us out of here.
I'm tired fighting with this music. It come on when it want to come on. So until tomorrow night, y'all, we'll holler at you.